also noticed is for people who stay 80s and 90s to even 100%, like they probably, if we compare our earnings, then it's like they probably made $200 more than me.
But how much more work was that?
They worked more hours.
That's what I mean.
I work less hours.
So let's just put it into perspective here, okay? Because I really need people to hear this. Just because you work more hours doesn't mean you made more money.
Correct.
Right? I feel if you can make 80 to 85% of someone's earnings, but they worked 30 to 45% more than you, but you made 80 to 85% of their earnings, I'm like, they're doing it wrong. I don't care how much more they did, how much more they made. No, you working too hard. You doing too much. If you cut that number down to like maybe like 5% or something around there, and then, you still make it about 80 to 85% of their earnings, then it's kind of like, oh, they have a significant jump on you and something, right? But if they're working a lot more than you and you're making B plus of their money, it's like, no, something's off there. But yeah, go ahead.
So I usually try to stay in the 70s. And some people probably feel that no, when I'm 80, 90, 100%, I make more money. If you feel that way, then you have a right to feel that way.
You're wrong,
I
but go ahead.
uh, I would just say for me, if I do drop down to silver, I have to remind myself because I get frustrated with the phone, with DoorDash when they send me, because you have to realize at some times you might have to take that 10 miles for $10.
Oh, yeah.
Because to be honest, especially if it's an area where they dropping you off in where you're working, but they know when you're driving, you don't have time to look and see. I mean, it's basically a little second to where is this drop being dropped off to, and they know that. So if you decline that one and then they give you a worse order, because if you think that's a bad order, $10 for 10 miles, and then they turn around, they give you a 13-mile for $10, you might as well took the first. But you didn't know that, right? You didn't know that. What they're trying to do, and because I know I'm going to get comments for this.
I'm about to back you up. Go ahead.
What they're trying to do is have you to make money per hour. And let me just say this. Let me just say this. This app, this DoorDash app, machine, or whatever you want to call it, it is designed for drivers to take orders. It's not designed for you to make $1,400, $2,500 a week no, it's not designed for you to do that. It's designed for you to take orders and drop them off in a timely manner and for customers to keep coming back to order. That's all it's designed for. So if you notice, it doesn't have, what do you call it? The I like Miko feature. It doesn't have that. The machine is how can I say it? It's not emotional. So it's no emotion. Okay. So it's not going to favor you and say, well, we're going to get more orders to Miko because of this. No. Now, I can say sometimes when I'm fussing at that phone, I think they can hear certain keywords. Because sometimes I would say, man, I wish I had a catering order from such and such place. I don't get it at that moment. but I am not lying.
No, I'm
But
not saying that you
that
are.
throughout that day, and it's not like a big, huge catering order. I get a catering order from that restaurant. I am not lying.
Look,
I am not lying.
look, Miko. Okay, one thing I don't want you to think here is like, oh man, this is a I'm gonna judge you for sounding crazy, right? And I'm saying this, and I'm putting up the quotations because this is like something I've discussed, not even on the podcast. I've shared my experience with however many thousands of drivers, tens of thousands of drivers on the other channel about me talking to AI, right? And they're like, I had a whole video with me like talking to myself, and that's one of my more popular videos, even if it's like fun or whatever, but it's like that was more of my popular videos. Like, yo, UDM, can you take this for me? It's only going 8 miles. I can't find nobody to do it. No, I ain't doing that, man. What you crazy? You tripping? You gonna have to do something better. And then, all right, what if I add these two together? You gonna do it? Yeah, I'll knock that out for you. I had that video, and that video is still performing. It's doing what it's doing. But a lot of what you're saying, I told you that I was gonna back you up. A lot of what you're saying is exactly, even on the video that you commented on, right? I said, is it ironic that Uber had sent me a 21? And then DoorDash was like, hey, nah, UDM, take this one. $21 for less miles? Like, nah, that can't be a coincidence, right? Something is off there. And I'm like, I remember the Duh app. The Duh app had the ability to let us know what address or, like the things that we could not see. It would present it to us so we did not have to touch our devices. It was a safe device, a safe way to do DoorDash, right? And the developer told me that's what they initially like created it for, right? And then apps like Para came out, and it was giving us the information of what the total pay would be before we could see it, right? So I'm like, if that app was able to do it, I could only imagine what permissions we give the apps. It's very general on an iPhone, but I could only imagine what they're using those permissions to do in real time that we don't know that's being done. Developers know what they're doing, but we don't know what they're doing. So imagine if 2 minutes prior, I get an Uber Eats for $21 going 10 miles. And then 2 minutes later, I get an order on DoorDash for $21 with a 1% acceptance rate going less miles. I feel like there's manipulation there. And whether a person want to say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, or, oh, that ain't happening, that ain't what that happened. How do you explain that?
Well, I can tell you, and I know for certain, I can't tell you my source, but I know for certain that DoorDash know when you're doing other apps.
Yeah. They
Actually,
got to know.
Uber, they all know.
Yeah.
A lot of these apps, they know when you're on another app, and they don't want you to multi-app. And that's not why I don't multi-app. I don't like multi-apping because I like all my money to be on one, like in one setting. I don't want it to be 25 apps and I got $5 here, $10 here, $2 here.
I get
That's
it.
not me.
Mm-hmm.
But they do know when you're on another app. And so
Why do you think they do not want you to do that?
I don't think they want you to multi-app because especially if they didn't give you the stack order, they really want you to get that order dropped off. It's a time thing with the machine. I like saying machine, so
I
I say
feel like
machine.
it's a control thing.
Yeah, it's control as well. And so, but they know that other drivers will multi-app because they're not making enough earnings on DoorDash, especially if they're not in any tier program. And unfortunately, like I said, I hate to say this, you have to, in my area, you have to be in platinum to make the money that you want to make. And yes, across the board, you're going to see all type of orders. Just because you're platinum doesn't mean you're not going to see the $2 and $3 and $4 orders. What I can say is, and I've done it, I've done a $2 order or a $3 order if they sent it to me and I'm in the restaurant and it's going 1 mile. Because one, I'm staying in my area. Because if I decline that order, they're going to send me far away. I'm just being honest. I don't like doing 10 miles, 20 miles, and I don't even care if it's $2 a mile. I don't like driving, and I have a hybrid. I love it. I get 45 miles to the gallon. But the point I'm making is I don't like driving. I like to stay in
Your area.
My, area.
I get
so
it.
if I'm in, let's just say Chick-fil-A or Chipotle, the first thing I do is I get a cup of ice because I look at the benefits of it. I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's going to the lawyer's office right across the street. I don't even move my vehicle. I just jump over the little stump and go deliver it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's all right. It's a quick thing. Yeah, I got you.
So the $2 order, they sent me a catering order after that. But I would have never known that because you have to realize, I don't know if I should be saying this. They load up orders for you to make that whatever it is they want you to make for that hour.
I know exactly what you're saying. Like, okay, this is how I said it. There's a queue, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're available, or if you're not available, or if you get tied up at the restaurant, or whatever it is, then that order might go to someone else because it needs to be delivered. But if you could get these orders done as quickly as possible, then you would be in that queue and you would be the first in line to get that order. So this process of what I'm saying to you is more of the scientific conversation that a lot of people was like, oh, you don't know what the hell you talking about, right? But I'm like, if you really pay attention to it, I broke this down so well, and I had people testing it out in their own separate markets, and I really felt like people were attacking me because they didn't want me to be right because of just not wanting me to be right? It's like I figured out something that's like, wait, what? All these years I've been pushing this tips and tricks, and this guy come out of nowhere and he coming out with this all scientific stuff, and it's actually working, but I don't want him to know that it's working. So I'm gonna talk him down. I'm gonna make him feel like trash, whatever. But they didn't, right? But I feel there is a queue. There is a process. And I also feel they set you up to get something better, but you will never know if you don't accept what they send you, the initial offer, right? Sometimes it is a $2 offer going 10 miles to position you in an area where they can't find another reliable driver to take this catering order that's available over there, but you just don't know, right? But it's to position you to win, to then eventually make the amount they want you to make by the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the whatever. So it's like, because their national average has to meet their national average. And however much that number is, this is where they manipulate. They know how much they want nationally, how much they want Dashers to make for good PR, for them to look good, not for you to earn more. That's me as a businessman understanding certain things, but a Dasher that might not understand that, they might not understand. It is what it is. And what I'm saying currently might just go right over their head, but they have control over that. And if You are saying, I got this $50 banger, or I got this $100 banger. Yeah, tomorrow, let me know if you get it again.
Oh yeah. What time it is, D-Fam? Yeah. It's time to what? Go get your money.